We are working out the fine details with Agribank and GESA to be able to fully implement it. We are believing that by the end of this week, that will be covered and the implementation will commence next week. On the 10th of October, 2024, working through various poultry farmer associations nationwide, poultry farmers will be supported with feed and vaccines. And we are talking about close to 30,000 metric tons of feed and vaccines to be supplied to poultry farmers nationwide. This is because poultry farmers are comfortable with maize hovering around 400 Ghana cedis per 100 kg bag. Currently, is being sold 1,200 Ghana cedis on the market. At the farm gate, around 600 Ghana cedis. We need to do something for poultry farmers, and that is exactly what we're seeking to do. And this will start from the 10th of October. From the 10th of October, we will also commence the distribution of food grants to 800,000 farmers in the 8 affected regions. There's a big distinction. The inputs, the fertilizers and the seeds is going to farmers nationwide. But the food grants, it's going to the farmers in the affected regions because they are the ones that have lost their crop. So 800,000 farmers in the 8 affected regions will, from the 10th of October, be receiving food grants. Each farmer will receive 25 kg bag of rice and 100 kg bag of maize per farmer. To bring relief to the general population, we are setting up an online grains market starting the 10th of October to enable the public conveniently access grains, that is maize and rice, at affordable prices. We did mention that we are going to import some maize. Some of these maize will come to the market to also help bring down the price of maize and rice. We have so far received about 34,000 metric tons of rice in our warehouses, and we are waiting for 100,000 metric tons of maize to arrive on the 16th of October. We have also received 500 metric tons of maize from ECOWAS, and we are expecting another 8,133 metric tons of maize from ECOWAS in the next 2 weeks. For the cash transfers, we are working with the World Bank and LEAP to commence around the 20th of October this year to commence the cash transfers that we promised farmers. And we are going to start first with the LEAP farmers, the most vulnerable farmers who are already registered as LEAP beneficiaries. Clearly, they've demonstrated that they are the ones most in need. So we'll start with them through the LEAP program, transmit 1,000 Ghana cedis to the most vulnerable farmers before we scale up to all other farmers. And that should commence shortly. For transparency and accountability of all transactions, input distribution and food distribution will be performed on the Ghana Agriculture and Agribusiness platform. This means to qualify as a beneficiary, you must be a farmer. You must be a farmer. And both you and your farm must be fully registered on the Ghana Agriculture and Agribusiness platform. You don't register your farm or a piece of land tomorrow and say you are a farmer, you are going to receive grant. No, that is not how it works. You must be a farmer in the 8 northern regions. The extension officers must validate that indeed you have suffered a loss through the dry spell before you will be a beneficiary of this. So you must be a farmer, and both you and your farm must be fully registered on the GAP. And when we say fully registered, it means that you can do self-registration, but that registration must be validated. We have to take a polygon map of your farm, and it has to be validated by an extension officer and the district director of agriculture. We have also made modifications to the GAP, the Ghana Agriculture and Agribusiness platform. We made modifications to accept voter ID cards for have also made modifications to the GAP, the Ghana Agriculture and Agribusiness Platform. We made modifications to accept voter ID cards for those farmers who do not have Ghana cards. Because on the GAP, the only identification that we were taking as part of the registration was a Ghana card. But we are also finding out that some farmers don't just have Ghana cards at the moment or are misplaced. You can temporarily register your farm and yourself with a voter ID card. But within 90 days, you must replace that voter ID card with the Ghana card, or else you'll be removed automatically from the system. To this end, we have deployed 3,000 personnel, including 2,700 Agric Extension officers, 261 District Agric officers, equipped them with tablets. We've given each one of them a tablet and set a target of 12 farmers for them to register on a daily basis for the next 60 days. This is to ensure that no farmer is left behind. And through this process, we are hopeful that we'll be able to capture all our 2.5 million farmers. We have also provided an option for self-registration on the GAP. And today you can just go to the Google Play Store and download the GAP Farmer app. So if you have a farm and you want to register the farm yourself, you go to the Google Play Store and download the GAP GHAAP Farmer application, and you can actually register yourself, take a polygon map of your farm. It will be incomplete until an extension officer in the district that your farm is in has validated your data by going to see your farm and having contact with you. So this is also there for anybody in the affected regions who wants to register their farm, to do self-registration. For any Ghanaian anywhere in the country who wants their farm registered to benefit from the inputs that we are about to distribute, to register their farms by themselves, to be validated by an extension officer. On the field, we have set up a monitoring and experiential learning team made up of personnel from the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, the World Food Programme, Ministry of Finance, the World Bank, the Agric and Finance Committees of Parliament, civil society organization, and select media houses. Their role is to ensure that the implementation is carried out effectively, providing further assurance to Ghanaians that farmers have received the necessary support and farming activities have been fully restored. We have also set up a high-level oversight committee made up of the Ministers of Agriculture, Finance, Defense, and Local Government, and the Dean of Regional Ministers to also provide ministerial oversight of the implementation of the measures on the dry spell. We assure the nation of an effective distribution of inputs to farmers and all beneficiaries herein. The recent dry spell and the scare are reasons why the nation must rally behind the Planting for Food and Jobs Phase 2 to support smallholder farmers, invest in commercial agriculture, and continue to commit to an annual irrigation investment plan averaging about 3 billion cedis a year over the next 10 years. Additionally, we must invest in long-term grain storage systems, targeting a capacity of 100,000 metric tons per year over the next 16 years to enhance food security and resilience. Finally, as this may be the last major announcement on the dry spell, bearing any future updates that may arise, let me take this opportunity to thank the President, His Excellency, the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, His Excellency, the Vice President, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, the Cabinet, Parliament, the Minister for Finance, and the standby team he put together to ensure that we mobilize the needed resources needed to help our farmers. I also extend my gratitude to the World Bank Country Director, Robert Talieso O'Brien, for accepting to coordinate the donor support, as well as to Abel Lufafa, Shakib Jenani, Michelle Keane, and Ashwini Reka Sebastian. A big thanks to the ECOWAS and also my big, remarkable, great team at the Ministry of Food and Agriculture. I want to thank the Information Minister for providing the platform to communicate to Ghanaians, and the Defense Minister for the support thus far. Additionally, to our friends and citizens from the media, I appreciate the fair reportage on this issue, which could have otherwise degenerated into panic and chaos. I thank you for the fair reportage. Thank you, Ghanaians. I was say meka me church in semnumu ewotwi mi wi a mekire mu mawie gafio mi wi a meka aigbe na maka dagbani na midi awie mujina ha ebe church mu a kire Ghana for yeman mu eduane sem ena bosome a etwa mu mi begina ha eka se Ghana atorenchem atoyen ewo efremu ewo yeduane semu ekwan a yede ye ekuafo no efa ena yeduane semu a ewo Ghana so pensen mu bosumnie mi gina ha me ka se ope bi esi efremu ama nsuo anto na yehwe mu no ni yenim se ebe ha ekuafo na aha oman no nnuane sem ewo akwan bebre so na we ni na gina se free June mfimfin ho ebesi August no nsuo anto na aha adwen eyi na obehwe epuye mantem ne nkran ena voter region hoso a nsuo ento ya kopim se be na wotwini a nsuo ahyase eto dani na di adanse se ebema Ghana yeduane sem no ohaw kakra aba ho ya pensen mu ye ni aban ye di nkomo a kire mmoa a won betimi di aboa yen ya ko parliament akwa sika efrom ho a ebetimi di aboa akuafo ne yeduane sem ye ni development partners ye omo a wono efri amanone a woni boa yenuane sem ye ni bebre edi nkomo ye ni aman so atwetwe nkomo yensa aka ye ebro ni emo kakra na yahwe Ghana ha nyina yeduane sem ye betimi aka kire Ghana fo se bebi a ye nan si no ye gina yie aturenchem na to ye ni na chikura no bibia ni ho a ahyeda aka ye eduane sem na eniema eni sika kakra ye nsa aka no ye betimi aka se ye nan si bibi so a ye betimi aboa akuafo na omwasan agina omnan so ewo kuaye emu na aturenchem no to ye no me begina ha me kasa no me magana fo hu se planting for food and jobs phase 2 no eye fi June afi etwa mu ambese June yi na ye de eniema bebre ama akuafo a woni betimi de omaye wonimfo nti nomaya eba ye no na betimi ama aboa oman nuane sem a kopem se eburu foforo anaduane foforo ebeba amansan dwaso na asem na meka na enokre efise na ukodwamu a banchi ne bo abafom enkate ne bo abafom jene ebo abafom tomatoes bo abafom bode bo abafom emu bo abafom ye de ekra no eno ne bo abafom sogum abafom bayire abafom eye akukọ namso ne bo abafom na saa niema ya ne bo ebeba fom ya Ghana fo na edi adansie ye hwe anim se beto aso akopem afefufura ye ba besim no be June ho kopem se ye be hwese ne eniema no mu tie ye expect se eduane no bo ebe kosoa akofom saa na de ba ko a ye hu ni se ebrode ne bo agibum if you say afidanse say na ukọ okuani ho koto aburo a na be 300 Ghana cedis 100 kg bag no na uba mansan dwa so na ne bo no ye be 450 Ghana cedis ene se ukọ okuani no ho a aburo no bo akwakodu be 600 Ghana cedis meanwhile fertilizer ni niema ede yekua no dodo na aboa heden fertilizer kwade ni bo aba for more than 30%. But and then no farm gate price of maize no nebo akosoro akodu 600 Ghana cedis. Oko amansan dwa so bebre a eye edwura woni ton ebro no be 700 Ghana cedis. Techima ne nkranza ekobe 770. Oba nkranman mu hade a agbogulushi ni Madina 1200 Ghana cedis ene eton ebro no. Nyini na kire se wo so aban no de nhihye ba ebe ma sa anuane eye titiru ni ebro ene emo no nebo no aba form akoka de medical akase nebo no eba form no aban hye akuafo bo hye Ghana bo se wode beboa ama okuafo eho enkyere omo woni besan esi won nan so na wono aduadua omo number eni bio aban ka se wosan omo a omo ni aduane efanso omo aduane no entimi emfifiri no obema wo mo aduane kakra na poso for na ewo mu no so wa pesi kakra so e di ama won asei na nhihye no etie efi anopei ya shase e di fertilizer 118,000 metric tons ena ebro eduaba ene emu eduaba eno so be 5,000 metric tons shase ache ama ekuafo 800,000 ewo Ghana hani na eyefi enkran eko esremu de enti ayede enkran anase southern sector no eka ho ne se southern sector no afena ne planting season no aso eduru ho southern sector enti mahwa afena nsuo no ahyase se yeden eto kakra enti na wo se yede ka ho na ye hyekua no mu kena no woni timi edua woni no baaye no ede emayen yeko esremu so a wono dodo na edua woni no baaye no deda but the dru ba bia wo se woni di urea no so yeden egu so de boa afuo no enti na wo se fertilizers ya yensa kan no ye chema Ghana fo na etimi di pia ye nuane sem eye ni dua no na kuani bia wo ye 2 acres up to about 2 acres no ubenya urea bag ne baako no wenya MPK no so mienu eye wodia se wodi wo gap no so a ye start e de niema no fertilizer no akọ region no mo dia badisi no koda koje wodie se wa register wo gap no nko ade a o fertilizer ka ho obi a ye Ghana ni a wa register wo gap no so no o fertilizer ko ho ubetimi akọ na wakọ akọje wodie afi na ye di fin kran ashase eko region num nti me sure say edu region num a ana o district mu a won be announcement no na maba beje yewo omo ye commercial farming omo ye mfu akese pa 10 hectares ene akire one so ye yes wo say omo benya 50 bags of MPK and 25 bags of urea and also ye 20,000 metric tons of fertilizer ye di ba be di seljumadie no sa fertilizers yi na ye de eba be chama Ghana kwafo ye hwe anim se ebe produce about 360,000 metric tons of paddy rice na produce about 770,000 tons of ebro emoni ebro emono 360,000 metric tons and ebro no so 770,000 metric tons na ye ni na nim Ghana ha no ye di be 2.5 million metric tons of maize afibia nti de yeba be ye no it will really ebeboa pa ewo ebro ye no ya sign so any agric bank ena gesa edi nkomo na wotwe mu ye bewie ye pese commercial farmers woni omo ye mfu akese na woni mfu no ho aka no ADB ni gesa emmo wo mbosia a insi hu no yen aye Ministry of Agric ana aban ebe fasa insi hu no na di akwakosi ni say Ministry of Finance ama answer can 50 million Ghana cedis say bank no emma loan no insi ho no aban betua insi ho no ama if say it's expected say atorenchem ato wa hwere onobaye nti say wo ba be gina onan so bio a e wo say aban so eso wasene nti yen de yen saka sika no na bank for no ene wo say omoye omo nhihye a ebetimi ama akuafo no ensa aka October 10th October Ghana poultry farmers na Marty de if you say through more associations no Ghana Poultry Farmers Association and the various regional farmer association district poultry farmers association no bremo poultry feed and vaccines dia yensa aka babe through more associations no mene mupeni no president no akasa ene ochina yebehia ne asate emisopon asate aye nhihye no kwan ayebefa so a nationwide munsa beka poultry support no letime aboa poultry system no e wo say ye ne sa if you say poultry farmers no so mo be gina o nan so na so mo to ebro no be ye 400 Ghana cedis and na farm gate no kura gina 600 Ghana cedis uba mansan dwa so nkran ha 1200 Ghana cedis poultry for the nya de a when you betimi edijuma no nti na wo say yewura mu na yeso omasene eno na yahase sa October 10th na na yehye aduane ye friend full grant wonu a wonu wo esremu ana 8 regions na sebe woni dua no ba ye na ama no yehye omobo say ye be bromo ebro ni amuni bi de ya omo so omde ye aduane no na 10th October yetimenya be aduane ama nipa 800,000 ye be hyase e de ache okuani bia benya emo 25 kg bag no baako no wanya ebro 100 kg bag no baako unya ebro na otimi aye koko betimi aye banku ma dokono aye nema bebre ewo ho eya no akai agric minister na sane ebeya oman no so eho ebeto no na yeduane sem eboɔ no akɔfom no eniema na ebro ne emono a ye kraye no ye de bi beba amansan dwa so because wo hwa okoto ebro ewo farm gate cross 600 Ghana cedis na wo de ba amansan dwa so beto no 1200 Ghana cedis na dodo na kire se eye edufudie na ene epobobi eye abem entino de yen yakra no yen yese be ba amansan dwa so abeton no eboa ye fili se ewo se ye ton no eno be boa ama edodo na ebeton no saa no woni be free amansan edwa so ama won atimi ayeden ate so ama ye nyina ye ho ahan no se ebro no ne emo no bo no timi ba fom a na akoka nnuane na mabobo din na ni nyina bo aba fom a ye jiri se ebekoso aba fom a kopem June 2025 na sani ebeya akuntabuo ochina media for ana Ghana for bebisa me say sika na yede ma wo no fertilizer na yede ma wo no emu na yede ma wo no de fa hene e wo se mitimi busa akunta no nti bibia ye beye bia no gise ye yusu abefo afidie ene yede ye eye digitalization nti wafuo no gise uko register ye register kofi menu asase wei me na media na ya faudin no Ghana card ni bibia wo system num na ye di mfidie akọ na yakwakọ mape wankasa nkasa wafuo no na ewo ho na agric extension officer na beka se ampa kofi menu afuo nie enye park so ene wakwakọ ye enye asori dan bi achi ene wakwakọ twa se ye fuo na mum eye fuo ampa na enu ene bema wanya enyema ya ye chi ibi enye card fufuro bi ena ye de che na ye Ghana card no ne se wa register wafuo no ena ye de eche enti no we no politics bia enim kona ko register wafuo no na Ghana ban nhihye ya ode bre okuani no wonsa nye den enka bi na ye register gap no besine no nipa be 800,000 ena bosomi 9 wana register omafuo wo gap no so Ghana Kuafo na to say a 2.5 million. One hour 1 year, so ya no pa a year queer as Omankasa, only about 2.5 million. Yet you register mu about 800,000 so far. Until a be a catcher, I was here register mu. Oma catcher no so a be not to renchem atomo. A be so that a person a fertilizer mom was southern sector, no one so the year phone. Entino. Agric extension officers a Ghana hani na mo ye be 2,700 ya from yama omuni na tablet yama obia Samsung A9 tablet kama ya to ba ku be 4,000 ya chama omuni na ya the gap application no eguso wonu nam Ghana hani na register ekuafo ya sanso the district extension officers ya momo tablet CB almost na mu a wono register ekuafo gisa wo register ansana yetimi amom ni ahya mo se da bia no obia mom ne homode so be register be nipa du mienu 12 me ye ne sana enu be busume mienu no na Ghana ekuafo na ya register o muni na se ne be ya aban de bibi ba obia ensa ebeka bi enti no se wunye extension officer na wo so wo wafuo na watwen na obi ama ukọ Google Play Store GHAAP farmer app na wo ho wa obetimi download na wakọ register wo ho na wa register wo farm ye di mpanifo akukudam so asi ho a ye hwe se omo behwe na ade ya ye ya ma akuafo yi adie ya ye edi ama Ghana fo no obi emfa bonwoma bi emetare ho emeka se asemfoforo nti mpanifo every Ministry of Agric mpanifo every World Bank Agric ni Finance Committee of Parliament ya to nsa from civil society organizations media houses ba kumienu bi ya from so woni metena omo say omadaje busum mienu no woni metena Ministry of Agric na ye nyo mon kamom ni make sure say ade na ye dia boa Ghana kuafo no enam ni kwan mu sania e wo say enam mu eno achi no ya sign the ministers BSC ho Agric Ministry, Finance, Defense, Local Government, and a Dean of Regional Ministers. Yenso ye ba betena so ho ne ahwese one ihwese adwuma na ekoso no obia ye na adwuma enkofa asembia emma na nina no ekakokusi se ye pese ye kire Ghana for se adimwa na ye de bre Ghana for no ye beye ni yi ama ye ho ate se krojen na me di ebe wie no the see and say no actually and say planting for food and jobs phase 2 na ye shas here ye boss small scale farming last year we hear fertilizer ne nema ye chair ya ye di ma ekuafo under the input credit system I been see Ghana ha da na me give say do na anti ho asem for the first time e ba Ghana ha menye sure say what say friend say I feel obi to say fertilizer smuggling akoso anameboa obi anti fertilizer smuggling asem esane nhihye pa ye de to honti no saa niema na kan ya Agric ho no ni nyina no yetimi ayi afri ho ne kwakrakra no ebia na ye start implementation of the mitigation measures no ebia na mentimi ne mu amekasa ebio jese bibi foforo bi esi wo mu dia na ye hwe but yanke akan asemi na nke akan wi ye betu ye ho agum ameki sure say akuafo no sabeka won input na Ghana for so enyo maduane ama obi aho ato no medical ya da mampani ni na bedechi ase papa so woni gina ho hwe ye ma de ye hwehwe no ye nsa ekan ye cabinet, parliament, minister for finance, utunkofosi ho Ministry of Finance, mobilize resources no edimai. Na World Bank for so ye dawmase, omo country director nankasa tunu si ho mobilize donor community ni na edimai. ana obia kakra wono so no ode ebe boa yen Robert Talieko O'Brien ye dana se Ghana dana se papa na ni nkrofo bi oni omudi yes adwuma ma momudi a na yaye boniaye Abel Lufafa Shakib Michelle King Ashwini Reka Sebastian ECOWAS for Bedamase 2 year no omudi kan bre brone emo 500 metric tons and one mama so ati say one san bre 8,000 metric tons ECOWAS ayade ye dawamase ena miankasa so medjuma efo ewo Ministry of Agric o mama ye superstar wa Agric mu medamase papa na Ministry of Information so de bia woni boayen ye ba ha woni GFF also na de kokoba ye no se media fo no ye koba ye no se media fo no se mo chia asem no pe anka asem esi wo Ghana if you say na ye can dry spell no na nkrofo fo say wo say woni tuko amansan dwa so no woni ko to niema e wo ho nina na wo hwese nya media muma monsem kanu ekoye na mo create panic bi wo system no mu ama ye nya rush on the marketer na wo say me boma baso na me damase Ghana edamase if you say mo chia no ekoba bia nka eneno anhwe ana enye asempapa ewo ye aduane edwa so mede me nsem no eba wiye no na medamase na afedie makokankran minister ma wie gafi o medamase nyankopon hira mu na.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister. I'm sure that today you will not get any questions because you brought only good news. Whoever was in despair, who was worried about the implications of the dry spell, I believe by now is relieved, because for you to be able to mobilize 118,000, not 118, 118,000 tons of fertilizer and 5,133 tons of seeds for 800,000 smallholder farmers across the country. That is huge. Minister, thank you so much for being so responsive and very, very efficient as well. The Honorable Minister announced that for every smallholder farmer in Ghana who is registered on the GAP, to that end 800,000 of them will receive 2 bags of NPK fertilizer each and 1 bag of urea fertilizer each. For those in the 8 affected regions up north and in the transitional belts, the Honorable Minister said there will be distribution of food grants to 800,000 farmers affected in those 8 regions, 25 kg bag of rice each and 100 kg bag of maize each per farmer. Minister, you have no idea what this means to the farmers in Garu or in Pusiga or anywhere in Sandema or Nyampala or Jirapa. When you sit in Accra and you talk about a bag of maize and a bag of rice per household, some people are tempted to think that it's nothing. But there are families who need just that for the whole year. If they can get a bag of maize to send to the mills and dry and store it so that they can put food on the table. Thank you so much for not abandoning farmers in these difficult times, Honorable Minister. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, we continue with the good news, but I believe the Honorable Minister will get to speak more when you ask questions. So if you have any questions, this is the best time to ask. You mention your name and affiliation and then proceed to ask your question. David has a microphone at the back. If you raise your hand, he will bring the microphone to you so that you can ask your question. Thank you. Yes, please. John.
Thank you. Yes, my name is. Okay. Yes, so my name is John Awuni. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I represent Kesben Television. I just wanted to know whether the date was carefully selected, because most of the key distribution is going to commence on the 10th of October, which worldwide it is International Day of Mental Health, and we all know how hunger contributes to this particular sector. So the day is very historic, but that is not actually the question. The question is, I know these are just short-term solutions. I don't know what the ministry is doing going forward to curtail these drought situations. What long-term measures does the ministry have going forward into the future? Thank you.
Thank you for the question, John. Okay, I can see a hand from
Yeah, good afternoon, Honorable Minister.
Good afternoon.
And my MP. Honorable Minister, you have mentioned, in your previous encounter, you did mention you needed about $500 million or 8 billion Ghana cedis. How much have you gathered so far from government sector and from donor countries? How much has come into the kitty? And then I've been attending briefings at the Statistical Service. Most invariably, food prices going up, especially after COVID. What is accounting for this? Because food situation in this country, if you go to the market, some of us who go to the market with our wives, it is not easy at all. What is accounting for this? After all the plentiful food and jobs, food prices still going up. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. I can see another hand.
My name is Daniel Odromens. I work with City FM and Channel 1 TV. Please, I want to find out, based on the interventions that have been outlined, is government likely to lift the ban on exports of maize in November? And also, regarding the cash-in transfers, I wanted to find out when exactly and how it's going to, the process will be like. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you for the questions. If there are any hands up, we can take 2 more questions before we invite the Honorable Minister for this round. Yes, Clifford.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. You realize that with our seasonal commodities, the perishables, I think for some time now we've seen a dip in prices because of the glut. What measures are we putting in place to ensure that those seasonal, the prices do not escalate when we get into the lean season? Thank you very much.
Thank you for the question. Is there any hand? Okay, if there are no more questions, I will invite the Honorable Minister for his responses. But before I do so, permit me to once again acknowledge our media partners. We are watching, if you are watching this press conference, I believe you joined us live from one of these stations. We are live on GTV, Joy News, Channel 1 TV, UTV, Untumi TV, Peace FM, Movement TV, Net2 TV, ABC News GH, Asasi Radio, Oman FM. In the northern part of the country, we are on Sagani TV and NTV. If you are joining us on social media, I believe you joined us on Facebook at Ministry of Information or Ministry of Food and Agriculture. Also streaming on Think News Media and Kofigo TV. Thank you. Honorable Minister, if you are ready.